So we're here with Dr. Brown, and she has been doing amazing work. Thank you so very much. I mean, we were here on Sunday. She was so busy. She had like 2 bites, literally. 1, 2, and she rested down to ensure that she put the patients first and to make sure they were seen. And I thought that was just so thoughtful and just so sweet. Thank you. I just have to say that on camera because she's just really amazing. I mean, all our doctors are, but some persons just kind of tug at your heart a little bit more, and she has tugged at my heart.
Thank you. I'm flattered and honored.
Tell me a little bit about this mission. I know there were some complicated cases. There was a lot of work. You were into surgery up until maybe this morning. What has this particular mission been like?
Well, it's been very, very busy. We had a wonderful clinic day on Sunday. The doctors from St. Vincent, some doctors from other of the OECS countries have sent patients to us who have pediatric issues, specifically congenital cataracts, corneal issues, strabismus, which is crossed eyes, drifting eyes, things that can cause vision development to be impaired. We saw many, many, many cases. It was very, very well organized. The doctors who referred the patients had already done a lot of the work, and therefore we could do some additional work and assess and plan and determine which children needed simply medical treatment versus surgical care. So this week we were able to do 25 cases so far, actually 26 counting one this morning that was a trauma emergency. And we've been operating all day with the good staff here at Milton Cato Hospital and those folks that we bring with us who are part of our team. We have a nurse anesthetist, Mary O'Hanley, who's been with us coming for 10 years. Our nurse who's in charge of our ambulatory surgery center at home in Richmond, Virginia, Lisa Sizemore. She's been with us now the 3rd year. And then my daughter, who is studying to be an ophthalmologist, Dr. Karen Brown. So that's our ophthalmology team. And what we've been able to do this week is take out cataracts in babies who would be blind otherwise, and correct strabismus surgery, and then a few other odds and ends cases. But all because of the local work here by the physicians in country with whom we work. They will provide the post-op care. They did the pre-op care. We come, we do the technical work, and then they help us in follow-up. And we communicate after we go home to be sure that the post-operative courses are what we want.
You've been coming here a number of years. What is the most challenging part and what is the most rewarding part?
I think the challenging part is doing things in a place where you're not maybe in your comfort zone. We don't have every single thing we have at home. We've tried with World Pediatric Project to equip our operating theater here with the state-of-the-art things that we have at home, and that's what we have here. But there's always the surprise case that you didn't think about a particular instrument or a particular thing you might need, and then you say, oh, can we get it from home? Do we need to FedEx it? We did some corneal transplants this year, bringing the tissue and making sure it stays alive while we're waiting to do the procedure. I just think it's sometimes the unknown and the uncertainty. But through the years, we've been coming for 20 years, and through the years we've seen progressive improvement in the infrastructure here that allows us to do more and more and more things. And I think the human resource piece is probably the hardest to come by. We can, with work, get donations to get the equipment, the supplies, but if you don't have a doctor here who can do the post-operative work, it limits the types of cases we can be able to do here. So that's been the challenge. But it also leads to one of the most rewarding things, which is being able to do more and more now that we do have that human resource piece here. I work very closely with Dr. Sharice Grant. She just got back from Richmond. She was with us for 3 weeks there and was home a week, and then we came. And she is basically my colleague here who takes care of the pre- and post-op work, and that allows me to do the cataract surgery here, the corneal transplant surgeries here, because I know I have a colleague who can take care of these post-operatively. I think one of the most rewarding things, though, is just taking the patch off of the baby this morning and seeing the smile and knowing that the little guy can see now, and that's the most rewarding thing, and seeing the expression on the parents' faces when they know that, their children's lives have been changed. So I think it's changing lives in where you find yourself. And we're Vincentian citizens now, and this is our country. So where God puts you in the world, can you change the world in that place? That's what we're all about. And so it's just rewarding, I guess, in general.
What would you like to say to donors? There are some persons who are still interested in trying to find ways of helping and giving. As a physician, you know, working and having worked here for 20 years, what do you have to say to donors?
I think that everybody can do what their skill set allows, and my skill set may be the surgical skill, but I may not have the funds to be able to support the work here, to pay the salaries of the people in St. Vincent who work for World Pediatric Project, to pay for the ability for us to get here and the supplies, etc. So if you feel like you want to help the World Pediatric Project, you may not be able to help the child directly, but you'll help them directly and indirectly if you can give money to support the project. It's very expensive. The equipment's expensive, the supplies are expensive. We get donations wherever we can from companies, but even $1 that can provide care for a patient may change that child's life and that family's life. And you have children who would be blind, and you make a difference, and then they're productive citizens in St. Vincent. That right there is a boost to the economy, just if you want to think about it in money terms. So your dollar may then produce multiple dollars and a productive citizen and change somebody's life. So even $1 is helpful, the World Pediatric Project.
All right, so I'm going to bring in your daughter now.
She's on succession planning. Someone said, well, what's going to happen when you retire? And I say, well, Dr. Grant will still be in St. Vincent because she's very young. But also our daughter, Karen, who has made the decision to go into ophthalmology, she's an intern and starts her residency next year. And she's been coming, this is her third year. She's been coming since she was a little girl, but in this capacity for the last 3 years.
What influenced you, obviously, to want to do ophthalmology, and the best part about working with WPP?
So my mother, of course, was a huge influence in deciding to do ophthalmology, but to be honest, I came to it on my own as well. I find it just to be fascinating from my perspective to do the work that she does and that I'm going to be able to do, but I also just find it completely important to be able to help people see better. It's something you use daily in your daily functioning, and it also helps you see the beauty of the world, and I just think it's really important. So, you can't tackle the whole body or all of medicine. You can do one part, and I just thought that was a really important part. They're all important parts, but it's the part that I kind of flock to the most. And with World Pediatric Project, it's really helped me see the impact that you can have in other places. And I've been coming here as well for about 20 years, and so this has become my place too. And so it's always an honor to be able to come back every year. And especially now as a physician and a budding ophthalmologist, I've learned a lot from my mother teaching me, but also from the kids, letting me learn, and it's been fantastic to see the change that she's made, and that the people of World Pediatric Project have been able to make, and also just the hospitality and the dedication of the people who are here. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without Milton Cato and the staff here, without the other doctors here who do the follow-up care. So it really is just such a partnership in every sense of the word. And so I just feel honored as a budding physician and ophthalmologist to be any kind of part of this. So I'm really appreciative, so thank you.
What would you say you like best about the World Pediatric Project?
What I like best about the World Pediatric Project is I think that it does what it set out to do, and I think it gives the care that it sets out to do, and it's very comprehensive. I think especially here in St. Vincent, all the specialties that they have. I think it's about 11 or 12 that come to St. Vincent throughout the year, and the longevity of the care and the recurrence of the teams coming back every year. It's really a good continuity of care, and I think I like that approach that World Pediatric Project takes by having teams come consistently, and having people here be trained in the follow-up care and in how to help. And so I like the setup of it being really a true partnership with St. Vincent and with people of St. Vincent, and how it really is a long-term plan to continue over the years and years, not just a one-time thing, a very long-term thing. So.
This is an excellent suggestion.
Thank you. And I think we would be remiss to not give a special thanks to the Ministry of Health and our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Simone Kieser, who, without their support, we wouldn't be here. We have a meeting with her tomorrow to set up some other projects, and that will also include our other daughter, who's a physician assistant student. So we've got a lot going on this week, and we appreciate being here, and we appreciate your asking to let us speak on behalf of World Pediatric Project.
Thank you.